So our next volunteer victim tonight is Dr. Christina.
I know, it's
I don't know. I knew I was going to get it right. She's with the Pacific Northwest National Laboratory. She's going to talk about the national power grid and the infrastructure reliability.
Hello everyone. I'm here to talk about the data analysis and the Pacific Northwest demonstration project. So, as Joe mentioned, I'm working in the electricity infrastructure, and we do research for the smart grid. And we had a few demonstrations in the house. The one that I'm going to talk about is Pacific Northwest demonstration project that was American Recovery and Reinvestment Act. $178 million project. It spanned over 5 states, and you could see. It's not working on that. You could see on the map the size of the project. We had utilities in Seattle. We worked with City of Lights and the University of Washington, also doing the data collection and testing. And we had the partnering in this project with BPA, 11 utilities, 2 universities, and 5 vendors. So we need to mention it is the only project of this scale in the United States. There are other projects, but they have different scales. So India, there are like 16 demonstration projects. So the target was installing different assets at different utilities. So here you have a few pictures of the assets that were installed: smart meters, solar panel, electrical vehicles, smart clothes washers, smart water heaters, batteries, volt-var control, reactive power control. And in this slide, you could see the list of utilities that partner in the project. So if something rings a bell for you, you can look on the vertical axis and see what is the type of asset that we have. Of course, nothing can work smoothly, so we had a few vendors that disappeared from the face of the earth, and that's the reason of the red dot for the storage for Benton PD and Idaho Falls. Also, we have equipment malfunctions, wind turbines getting on fire, or I don't know exactly what other malfunction were, so they dismantled the renewable part from City and Bellinsville. So the targeted responses for the project was a load reduction of 50 megawatts hour, a total load increase of 7 megawatts, and an efficiency impact of 10 megawatts hour. 10 megawatts, sorry. So basically, this is what was behind the project. Now, from the data point of view, this is the map of what we have. We have the sub-project sites, the weather data for each site. We use IBM, we partner with IBM from establishing the infrastructure, so we use IBM InfoSphere streams for collecting data. All the data was residing in the Electricity Infrastructure Center at PNNL, so we use Netezza machines for that. We had information coming from the regional centers, like we partner with Alstom's for getting information on the distribution generation and other value functions for defining the transaction control methodologies. We also get information from 3 tiers regarding renewable and forecasting information. So all of these were embedded in our system. Data is available for analysis with some non-disclosure agreements, but it's going to be open for public access pretty soon. So for all this project, we assure interoperability, cybersecurity, testing, and validation. So it wasn't an easy job, but we did. So the main concept for this project was advancing transactive control and getting it to a state where it can be standardized. So transactive control is a distributed method for coordinating responsive grid assets wherever they may reside in the power system. So let's consider this example on the right side of the graph. We have the generating the entities on the upstream. Downstream, we have the consumers. So the consumers are determining the demand for the generation, and there is an interconnectivity in between themselves. So the transactive control implementation that we had here used nodes at the level of the utilities and important regional points in the electrical map. And we use incentive signal for sending a signal ahead of time and receiving back a feedback signal. So basically, the incentive signal and the feedback signal were time series, and they were including forecast sequences. So the moment 0 was the most accurate. Everything that was coming after that until moment 56 was forecasted. And every 5 minutes we were getting adjustments of the forecasting. So you could see here in the left side of the graph the representation of the nodes, and they were communicating in between each other with the utilities. They were receiving back and forth the signals from the incentive and the feedback signals. So that was what was balancing the demand and the generation for the project. So let me present you an example. And let's consider that we have 3 households and 3 owners of electrical cars. And they are having different schedules for charging the cars when they get home. So the first car, when it's getting home, is the purple line and is the flexible consumption. So the red line represents the capacity on the system, and when you plug in the car, you can see the purple increase in the load of the system. So you come home, you plug your car, you are the flexible the charger. That's fine. You can run at this moment of time. Second car is the charge now. So basically, you could see what's happening when the second car is coming at the level of the transmission filter. The request for electricity is increasing. And if the next car is going to come and plug in at the same moment of time, the expected is predicted over there before. But the third driver, the third owner, it's a saver. So he's going to delay his charging later on in the time period. So in this way, we are able to shift the high demand later on, not pay higher prices. So don't go home and start your dishwasher immediately. You are going to pay more for the electricity if you are using it at the peak periods. If you delay it, you get smaller prices. And that was advertised for all the utilities and for all the people that were having the contract sign up for this product. So regarding the data statistic for this project, we had a big volume of data. We had 16 terabytes in the Q data system on Netisa. The velocity was almost near time. We had utilities transmitting data daily, or we had historical data that we needed to load manually into our system. We have a variety of information. So historical data was coming in formats that we were loading by hand. We had configuration and locational files. We had weather data. We had transactive signals, the incentive and the feedback signal. Meter data from feeders, from the PHV batteries, or all the other reporting sensors that we had. Test cases data, when we run test cases for experiments, and system management and log files for the experiments. So, of course, we deal with data, and we have many problems. So one of the challenges for the data was quality of the data. We run into inconsistency of the measurement. Two different measurements were reported for the same time period. So how do you distinguish which one is the correct one? We also had problems with the time. Time was supposed to be UTC. Utilities were sending data into the local standard time. We have measurements on different intervals, so reporting everything on the same time was challenging. Lack of IT experience on the utility side was a problem, and sometimes we got mails, thumb drive mailed to us in order to load the data. We will also deal with tribal knowledges because they know how to tweak the things to work, but how do you translate that and capture that in the software piece? So the lesson learned for the project is to use XML schemata for getting the data in, so we standardize the thing and do not allow things to go in all the possible way, have everything under the standard. Provide tools to do checks. Even if data is correct now, it does not mean that it's going to be correct tomorrow. Work with utilities and identify point of contact that you can contact and talk with and interact with. Evolve always a data architect for data projects, so that's going to allow you to avoid costly mistakes. And there are always challenges, but getting data quality is the most important thing that we need to focus on. So this is what we try to do with this project. And the project report is available online, and you can check the results for the project. Thank you.